Happiness is a small thing.
Always doing films inspired by reality. I'm never imagining something that is not grounded in something I live or I feel or I see. Or all my films have roots in reality, but the reality is the starting point. When I say the reality gives me the vision of the story, and that vision is quite high in the beginning, and then I start to fall on the ground and start to work to achieve that highness that is the vision that I had in the beginning, while the reality gave me. And while I'm speaking to children audience, I'm always saying a dog gave me a present of love. And this was the love I felt was the emotion who took me forward to do the movie in order to share this emotion with the audience. So it was more love gift from this dog whom I found in the streets of Romania. It was in 2014. She followed. I also have a dog. And she followed me in the street, and I couldn't let her there. And I tried to find foster families for her and to find her an owner. And these weeks where she stood at the families, I saw that she was changing the families in which she was living. And so this was the starting point of the wishing to do the film, because I said, well, she is transforming, her love is transforming people. So if this is generating the love of a dog who can't speak and has no let's say possibility to intervene in the family psychotherapy, how I say. She's intervening with her presence and with her love, and she's changing the people around her. Would be a good starting point to do a movie from the dog's point of view, in which the humans are less able to have this presence of love, and also presence in the here and now moment as the dog have. Because if you think what are the big lessons of the dog is that they live in here and now, they are always give compassion, and this kind of lesson would help us to see the humanity through other point of view. So it was mainly, it's a film about humans, but with a different point of view that enhance our limits, enhance our wish to live in the future, in the past, not in the present, and not being able to love fully with no conditions, no matter what. When I started to do the artistic development of the project, I found I liked a lot Brecht-Even's work, and I saw his books in libraries in Paris and in bookshops, and I contacted him through internet, just proposing him to join me at this project. And he liked the script, he wanted to join the project, but he also said, well, I will not be able to all the work, let's make a team. And he proposed me to add Gina Torstensen and Sarah Mazzetti in the team. And in fact, I also think that it was great because each one has a particularity of the style, and in fact I could use their complementary gifts in order to create the whole. And the task of Brecht was to design the main characters. So the main characters were designed by him, and he's brilliant because he we discussed the story, what I want, and from each character, and he came with a visual proposition. I mean, in the beginning, I give you the example of the dog, because the real dog is a brown dog. And he said, Anca, the brown dog is the dog. No one will see a poster with a brown dog, will not. So I said, okay, let's do it. It's a mixed dog, so it can be a strange mix of an Argentinian dog. And I found a reference in a dog site in France, and it was this heart on the nose drawn. And then I said, okay, and we will make some socks and shirt, and also having ears like wings, and a tail like a cloud that would also be visible in the dark. So he said from the beginning that the dog should be black and white, so we could everything is colored, but the dog is black and white in this colored world, and it will also stand up front in every scene because it's black and white. And for the other characters, when I discussed about the acrobat, for example, I said, well, his energy, like he is floating, he can do everything. He designed these lines. And this was when I told him, well, when I discussed with the animator, I said, these are the lines in the concept that it are his energy. So every time the animator asked me something, but now what am I going to do? How is he going to sleep? And I say, of course, the lines will flow up, because while you sleep, your energy is just above you, and your body is in relax. And in the morning, the lines are coming back, and of course, the lines gives him the possibility to change his body as much as he wants. And another, so we went through the characters with him. Of course, we had some discussions also with Gina and Sarah at this point. And we, for example, for the impresario and the dog catchers, I said, well, I don't like characters in 3D. Let's do the bad guys in 3D, because so they will be also explored, and making an empty body for the impresario. In the beginning, he was not, Brecht was not so happy, but we, the girls, all the group of the girls pushed him to convince him that it is the best idea for the impresario. And in the beginning, we had the team, we met all 4 of us for some times, but after the beginning, I started to share the work between Gina and Sarah, and Gina and Sarah did a lot of work, also all the extras, all the backgrounds, and of course I took into the account Gina's organic way of painting, and so she made all the parks, all the manoles flat, all the things that were needed an organic and connection with the characters, and what was straight line and should be defined by more constructive space was done by Sarah. The part of the Ishvan part, the backgrounds were mostly done by Sarah. But even so, in all the backgrounds, I mixed some elements. I mean, if the background was done by Gina, I added some elements from Sarah. So we have a whole unity. You don't feel like, oh, this is a part, this is another part. Everything is mingling, even if it's different styles that go from one another. It is a film for the family, and in the moment when I had the idea to do this film, I also felt that it is important to speak about empathy, to speak about how we relate to each other, to the young audiences. So it was something that was on the top of the desire of doing the film, also the desire to open the audience to young audience, because this audience is still can be let's say these are the people of the future. So if you want to change the society, you should start with changing the young, of course. But in fact, the film has the main themes and that I had in all my films for grown-up till now. So there are thematic similarities, but of course it is in a playful way and in a more lovable thinking at also enlarging the audience and giving them a level of lecture for everyone. I mean, the film can be seen and by young audience, can be seen also by grown-up audience. Everyone will have a layer, and they can relate to it. Even it was nice after Annecy, the premiere in Annecy, a critic from UK wrote, "I don't have kids, I don't have dogs, and I love the film." So it was not necessarily, you don't need to be a dog lover or to have children in order to feel reflected in the film, because the film reflects how we relate to each other, how we have it is a grown-up audience will think at their life as with the parts of even love affairs, because in a way or in another, it relates to the ages of life. Manole's part relates to the young age where everything is possible. One part relates to teenager time, when you feel blocked, that you feel that you are not let to express, you are blocked emotionally, you are blocked physically. And Solange's part, it is for the grown-up age, when you start to accept things as they are and to love people as they are. Everyone is alone in its corner in the apartment of Solange. Everyone has a corner, as the apartment is like an accordion. Everyone is different, but Marona loves and understands them as they are. Then there is no, she's not expecting miracles, but she still loves them.